weigh-in.
100
in the red with white, wearing his beloved NL Central.
Even though I'm a Chicago Cub. Paulie and I were looking at each other.
Look, he kind of gave him a smirk like, buddy, I've been here before.
Have 13 wins inside the distance in their career, and immediately Alexander goes to work.
Box a little bit more. Here we're against a man we're supposed to walk forward and get after it.
The ropes, and it's almost like per round.
Alexander's won 3 straight since his loan. Timothy Bradley, he said, while he doesn't agree with all the critics who said he quit, he does.
A lot of great combinations through this, and when Lee Purdy does get a chance to get his offense going, he's an action and volume puncher.
3 southpaws, he's 4-0. Lands a left hand over the top as Alexander bobbing and weaving a bit. A minute remaining in the opening round. A good start for the IBF. Now Purdy going to work on the body, lands the champion Alexander. Oh, and he got tagged with that right hand from Purdy. So we've got a bit of a firefight developing here in the first round. Alexander said he was going to bring the fight to Purdy.
Go ahead, Paulie.
Who said Devon Alexander isn't fun to watch? I know I didn't say that.
A right hook to the body and under. Punches in bunches here in round 1.
I'm going to stand in front of you. He will be happy to do great success, but Purdy is fighting back and doing well also.
Toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, less than 10 seconds remaining. They are chucking plenty of leather to get things started here at Boardwalk Hall in New Jersey.
Two guys, you know, and now everybody's auditioning.
Go ahead, Al.
In the last round, Purdy landed 8 of his 12 that he landed, so that was when he started under 54%. Lee Purdy, though, with that last rally, man, right hands, but this is an exciting match.
American Red Crider has given blood in 4 of his last 5 fights, minus the juice and cookies that come with regular donations. Of course, cuts from accidental head clashes and occupying an opponent with a conventional stance. Of course, his cutman Jim Strickland, considered among the best in the business, as Alexander and Purdy.
Alexander has a great...
He's actually mixing up very well. He's using the right hook to the head, using the right hook to the body. Shell a lot of your offense blocked or stunned.
Alexander by Purdy, right uppercut by Alexander. Mixing up and nodding as if to say you didn't hurt me, which Paulie usually means you did.
I don't know if he necessarily hurt him as much as he's frustrating him. You know, you saw Lee Purdy take a couple of steps back there. I could use his jab down the middle. It's almost like Purdy doesn't know where to keep his hands up. He's keeping them up high, but he doesn't know where. Either side of his face.
And he has a chance to land some of those straight right hands.
He's definitely
right uppercuts land.
Purdy talking to him.
Guys, the Brits. That's a jab from Purdy. We haven't seen one yet from him. That's the first one, I think.
Nice little spin move in the hook. Little subtle things Alexander's doing, really frustrating Purdy right now.
Here from Boardwalk Hall, a young age fight time. Purdy comes from a family of 13 siblings.
Hard to get second.
Got no choice but to fight for those seconds.
The jab by Alexander beginning to frustrate Purdy as he gets through the guard with the short jab. There's a right uppercut that also lands. And he's really finding...
Yeah, it's the variation. It's because he's using the right hook and he's using that right jab. It's the variation that almost forces Purdy's gloves to move and shift around. He doesn't know where to for the uppercut or the punches.
Right hook around the high guard peekaboo defense, and so far it's been porous as Alexander has managed to find his target on myriad occasions as he delivers the right hook to the body.
Left-handers who relies on his right hook a lot. It's his major weapon. And now he hurt the biceps in that arm, and that was one of the reasons why the Kell Brook fight was one of the 3 postponements. And he said we'd see more of his left hand, but it's been the right hook that's been big.
To work and make adjustments on his power paw.
Purdy got in the fight.
Victory against late substitute Cosme Rivera in his last fight when he was 10. Only had 6 amateur fights. Meanwhile, Alexander was an amateur standout as he pops the jab through the guard.
This is a fun fight to watch because they're both in front of each other. Alexander landing way more punches, but Purdy occasionally getting a good shot in.
Well, Alexander's a champion, so I would say, yeah, that makes sense that you would rank him as high as you do, sir. Alexander with over 200 amateur. Lamont Peterson, who we're going to see in the main event, current pro prospect Torres.
Purdy Purdy's punching him without a lot of steam. So that punishment he's taking from Alexander.
Do something, or else even if
3 rounds here.
The right hook, the straight left, and then the uppercut on the inside. And
we'll do and kind of walk to this, or not running. They're
Lee Purdy in the black with
Alexander. Now, get ready for this one, guys. Has averaged 86 punches around. That is not the norm for him.
Who does he think he is? Leo Santa Cruz?
Yeah, really.
off to a fast start this round. I mean, he's not changing the look. He's got his hands with a high guard, not throwing too many punches. So what do you do if you're Devon Alexander? Yeah. You might as well keep punching.
Yes.
Purdy pops him with the short right uppercut, misses with the left uppercut. There's a nice 1-2 combination through the guard. Alexander able to slip that punch. As a minute.
And if you're going to stand on the inside with a guy like this, that works against the southpaw when you're inside and it negates their southpaw.
Week's notice is Lee Purdy at court, staying right in front of the champion as Alexander fires off a short right uppercut to the ribcage and another one to the chin.
When he lands some really nice punches, then really make a huge reminder, Kell be here tonight.
The mandatory challenger who had to withdraw twice with injuries.
Which is, he's giving a game effort. He's just a little bit outgunned.
Under a minute remaining in the fourth. Alexander working the body. Three-punch combination culminating with the right hook by Alexander.
Another busy round for Alexander. Punch-wise, I'm sure he's up there again with his numbers.
77 in this round, now 79 total.
He's not just throwing, he just wasted punches.
Right hook to the body, left hook to the jersey.
Only Golden Boy, but show big order. You know, I'll do come to be able to do that for two great guys.
Big shoes to fill. We expect you'll do great.
I will, and I promise you it will be a undisputed and undefeated interview because Paulie.
Guys can really talk, and we're good out for you. Thanks, Bernard.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And looking forward to having B-Hop as part of the broadcast team on June 22nd when Paulie Malignaggi defends his title against Adrian Broner. Right now, Devon Alexander supposed to be defending the IBF welterweight title against Lee Purdy. Purdy didn't make weight, so it's a non-Alexander has looked very good in thus far.
Well, you know, here's the question. We're going to reach the point here, and this is what happens. Good right by Purdy, by the way. We're going to reach the point where people are going to want to see Purdy go down from Alexander because he's landing all these power shots, but Lee Purdy is a tough dude.
Yeah, nah, he's a tough guy. He's still actually talking. If you watch him here and there, he'll say something to Alexander.
Purdy has never been stopped in his career.
What Purdy lacks in ability, he makes up for in determination and heart. I mean, he's not even, his body language.
He was down once against Colin Lyons, who was a 44-year-old former.
Last man to beat him.
Yeah.
Right uppercut by Alexander. Pace beginning. Furious start we've seen in this fight.
He's been throwing this many punches in a fight. He's been made in a fatigue, and we have seen Alexander get tired in other fights.
But a lot wasting any more energy aside from that. He's not moving a lot. You know, he's kind of sidestepping. The punches he's throwing are very so you save a lot of energy.
Alexander, if he prevails tonight, face the winner of Malignaggi and Broner. Perhaps.
Hey, all the top welterweights.
It's a contentious split decision we'll be seeing in our under 10 seconds left here in the.
Idea that the left hand has to be there a little bit for Alexander, and they said show it at least.
Yeah, and what that'll do is that'll ends more of the right uppercuts and the right hooks. Again, it's part of that variation. It'll open up that shell defense.
Good footwork by Alexander, pivoting away, getting center of the ring, Purdy coming forward, but Alexander keeping him at bay there with the jab.
Devon Alexander, he doesn't like to throw the straight left. He look at the power punches totally in this fight. My goodness, what an edge he got is pretty extraordinary.
Watch when Alexander throws his hands, and not everything is hard. Throw his hands out of the way or get Purdy to kind of shift his hands around with those little touches, little touch jab. It almost let Purdy relax a second, and then he came up with a hard right up to the head. Not every punch Alexander's throwing is hard, which allows him to get those punch stats up. But he's mixing in, those soft punches will open up the guard a little bit, and then he can mix in the hard shots.
And he's scoring the cleaner, effective punches. And Purdy, while putting on a brave face and maybe a valiant effort, is getting picked apart here by Alexander now, digging away at the body. And there's just not the same pop in Purdy's punches.
Now, the body work of Alexander's been special in this round that Tony Sims asked for, but he's at even bigger risk. You made the points on purpose to a lefty.
Yeah. But that's a lot of times when you can't get him to stop. When you're trying to stop him, Alexander's right in front of him.
Right hook behind the glove of Purdy by Alexander, who's just teeing off here at will. Purdy shelling up. Instead of nodding his head, maybe he should be throwing some punches there, Paul.
Well, I think he's being outclassed.
Of this fight
for Alexander landed 107 punches.
Whether Purdy came to win down with his hands high.
I just spoke left hand. That is why he's not throwing it on the top of his head. He is reluctant now to throw it. Of course, they came into the fight telling us that's the reason he is not pulling the trigger.
Thanks a lot. The right hook and the right uppercut is still there.
Your hand, you don't want to completely throw it and at least not let
time scoring halfway through the bout.
I'll be shocked if anybody gave a round, and we did not give a round yet to Lee Purdy, Malnaji, and I every round to Alexander.
Oh, using the left hand there, and then the one thing he didn't want Alexander to do was hold him. Well, it's fun.
Well, there's not a lot of leverage on the left. Once you at least recognize that there's offense coming from both sides, and that's enough to.
Lee Purdy he was getting that and thrown it much in the last few
rounds. Right hook, and there's a nice three-punch combination. Conversation. Alexander utilizing his footwork and Purdy doing more with his head in terms of nodding than he is with his punches. And despite the injury to the left hand, Devon Alexander in full control.
He's got to start throwing more punches. Alexander, even one-handed, is out-throwing him by a lot. They stopped it. Looks like they've stopped the fight, guys.
And the fight has been waved up.
Almost nothing coming in.
14th victory inside.